How about a hand, wherever you happen to be behind your computer, a hand for that incredible music, the Unity North Band led by Ryan Almario. What a great group of guys, just not only talented musicians, but incredible human beings. Welcome. Welcome to Unity North, welcome to our hearts, welcome to this moment in time, and welcome to a brand new year. You know, there's been a lot of talk about 2020, and there's some good that we're going to take with us, and there's some that not so good that we are leaving behind. We began that process with the Burning Bowl ceremony last Wednesday. But today is all about the white stone of freedom, as we claim the magnificence of our very soul. It's all about the nature and the name that is written within that stone. You got to come at 1 o'clock to get a full dose of what that ceremony is going to be. But I hope that you will join us at 1 o'clock today after the service to come get a look at the beautiful mandala that's been created, get a little bit of a message, and to claim that white stone of freedom. As you've cleared the space, we step fully and completely into the magnificence of the new year and all its potential, and the magnificence of a new you and all of your potential. Right now, I want to welcome you into this space with a moment of prayer, and I'd like to use this beautiful poem written by Minnie Haskins to get us going on the journey. Take a deep breath with me, everybody. Wherever you happen to be, we are one. We are connected. We cannot be separate. No time or space can separate us. This is called the Gate of the Year. And I said to the man who stood at the gate of the year, "Give me a light, that I may tread safely into the unknown." And he replied, "Go into the darkness and put your hand into the hand of God. That too shall be better than light and safer than in their own way." And so I went forth, and finding the hand of God, I trod gladly into the night. And God led me towards the hills and the breaking of the day in the lone east. We don't know what 2021 is going to hold, but we know it will be holy by right of our consciousness. We don't know what lies before us in 2020, but we know it will be good because we will make it good, because life is what we make it. It doesn't mean it will not have its stumbles and its falls, its mistakes and its difficulties, but it means that none of that will define us, that we will define ourselves by knowing our hand, our heart, our mind, our spirit is in the hand, the heart, the mind, and the Spirit of God. Take a deep breath with me as you close your outer eyes, and we open our inner eyes, and we continue with that poem. So heart, be still. What need our little life, our human life, to know if God hath comprehension in all the dizzy strife of things both high and low? God knows. The stretch of years which wind ahead, so dim to our imperfect vision, they're clear to God. Our fears are premature. All time hath full provision. And then rest. Yes, let us rest comfortably, easily, until God moves to lift the veil from our impatient eyes. When, as the sweeter features of life's stern face we hail, faith beyond all surmise, God's thought around all creatures our mind shall fill. And so we wait and hope patiently on the power, the greatest power in the universe, to guide us, to clear the path, to clear the way, and to clear our mind, that we may be instruments of what is holy and good. That there may be more love on the planet because we are more loving. There may be more compassion on the planet because we are more compassionate. That there might be a little bit more oneness this year than there was last year because we are a little bit more devoted and committed to finding oneness and locating the face of God everywhere we look. In the eyes of all that we meet in 2021, we behold the face of God. So yes, family and community, let us rest peacefully, faithfully, and comfortably in the knowledge that there's a power, the greatest power on the earth, known by many names. Today I will call it love. That love will have its way with us. Love will have its way as us. For this and so much more, we are so grateful, and we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Together, thank you, God. It's always an exciting time at the beginning of a brand new year. It's like a banquet table of infinite possibilities. Let this be the same banquet table that we revisit in October and November of this year as well, that we don't close the line of the banquet table of God's abundance to our minds, to our hearts, to the possibilities. Let's live in that possibility. We've got a few things going on, not the least of which is at 1 o'clock today, we're going to have our answer to Whitestone ceremony in the midst of a quarantine. How do we keep separate? Usually on Whitestone Sunday, we got 600 people in line, close community. Well, we can't do that this year, so we have found a way to be creative, and that is to invite you at 1 o'clock for a short message and to come experience this mandala that has been infused with knowing, infused with a view of you, infused with white stones all throughout it that are a symbol of what we are going to become individually and collectively in the new year. I invite you to come anytime between 1 and 3 o'clock and to have that experience and to go away with that white stone. Many of you have a stone on your altar from many, many years past. Within that stone is a new name, a new nature. It'll be a new you. So come and collect yours today. We will keep safe distance. We will be respectful of the regulations and rules around our safety, but we will also be respectful about the individual need to become more than we were last year. A few things coming up. Leah Craft Christine, who was one of my favorite speakers ever to grace our doorstep here, she's doing a 30-day happiness tune-up. You know, the holidays were a bit tough for many people during this time. Well, we thought what a perfect timing it would be to have Leah Craft Christine and do a 30-day happiness tune-up. It's a program where every day you're going to get a video from her. Every day you're going to get a little bit of inspiration, a little jolt. It's only $97. If you want to get a little bit more about what Leah's about, she's going to be here as our guest speaker next Sunday. She's a dynamo. She's a powerhouse. And I've already signed up for the program, and I hope that you will join me as well in using her techniques and her happiness project to rise to the next level. I want to let you know that we've got some other classes coming up. Our new membership class is coming up. It's a 2-part class. It starts with Unity Basics, the basic foundational principles of unity. Jennie Scott will be leading that. I will be with her, but we invite you, if you're interested in being a part of this family and dipping into the pool of good that we have here, that means becoming a member. That first class is the Unity Basics, and it's going to be January 23rd, followed up on the 25th with a class I will be leading about how we take those principles that we're going to learn in Unity Basics and create a conscious community. How do we integrate them into our interactions and our relationships here as a community? Because we're still human beings, finding our way. That class is about the implementation, the integration of day-to-day living as family with its ups and its downs. And that's going to be the second part of the class. And that's the only commitment we have for becoming a member, other than when we get back into the room, we will receive you into membership. I want to let you know that there is another class coming up, and that's the anatomy of prayer. You know, prayer is something we do all the time. It's central to the Unity teachings. In fact, the entire Unity movement was founded upon the power of prayer to change the world, to change our world, to change our life. The Fillmores absolutely believed in the power of prayer and didn't really have an idea for church, but they had an idea for the power of prayer implemented, affirmative prayer. We're going to go farther than just affirming prayer. We're going to break it down to its anatomy, to the bones, to the cellular level of what prayer is, what it can do for us, and different ways that we can implement it into our life. Again, all with the sole purpose of making this new year better than it has been. Take a deep breath with me. You know, it just happened to work out this way that I don't have a guest singer today. It's going to be me. And so I'm going to invite you to join me in a moment of consciousness, to understand that in this 2021, we were born to experience the vast miracle of all that life has to offer. A banquet table a complete, total banquet table with lots of choices, with lots of experiences. We were born to try a little bit of everything, to just dip into that field of possibility, to try everything at the banquet table, and to live fully and completely. This song, written by Jerry Florence, is called Born to Live. We were born to live, not just survive. Though the road is long and the river's wide, though the seasons change and the willows bend, some dreams break, some others mend. We were born to give and to learn to take, to win and lose, and to celebrate. We were born to know, we were born to muse, to unfold our hearts, take a chance and choose. We were born to love, though we feel the cold, when a ship sets sail to return no more. Though a door be closed and we feel the pain, to chance it all, to love again. Yes, we were born to reach and to seek what's true, to surrender it all and make each day new. We were born to laugh and we were born to cry, to rejoice and grieve, just to be alive. We were born to hope and to know despair, and to stand alone when there is no one there. We were born to trust and to understand that in every heart there's an outstretched hand. Yes, we were born to love, to be right and wrong, to be false and true, to be weak and strong. We were born to live, to break down the walls, and to know that life is to taste it all. We were born to live. We were born to live. I got a few people in the room. Thanks so much for cheering. I hope you're cheering at home. And I hope you're taking the words of that song and you are integrating them into your life. You were born to be the vast miracle that God created you to be. You were born. I'm going to go ahead and switch microphones, Michael. I'll go to the headset. You were born to make manifest the glory of God and to be here on the earth school, not to play it safe, not to try a little bit, but to try it all and to live life wide open, completely vulnerable, humble, and open, knowing that there'll be times when you fall, there'll be times when you fly. But we are called to live and to fly. I want to share a couple of stories today about flying. You know, once upon a time, many, many years ago, there was a duck village. Everything within that village was duck. They had a duck bank. They had a duck grocery store. They even had a duck church. And every Sunday, the ducks would line up almost single file, and they would slowly waddle, 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 waddle all the way down the duck street, up the duck steps, through the duck doors, into the duck church, to hear the duck choir sing songs of empowerment. Waiting for that moment when the duck minister would come out and read from the duck scriptures. And he would read, "We were born with wings. Quack man, quack man, quack man," the ducks would say, with an impassioned desire to follow the scriptures. And he would continue and he'd say, "We were given wings by the presence and power of God so that we may fly and ascend to the heavens. Quack man, quack man, quack men," they would cheer. "We were meant to soar like the eagles, to leave all earthly concerns behind because no wall can contain us, because we were given wings by God. Quack men, quack men, quack men," the congregation would cheer. And then the duck minister would finish, close the holy duck scriptures, end the holy duck service, and all the ducks would get in single file and slowly waddle, waddle, waddle down the aisle, down the steps, into the street, and waddle, 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 all the way home. You know, a bit of a silly story, but I think that it contains a little bit of truth for us to look at as we stand on the precipice of a new year. There's a whole bunch of us that show up every Sunday. It may not look like a duck, but you get empowering principles, laws. We get to work with truths, spiritual truths that are put in place by the presence and power of life and love and God itself. And we come and we sit and we are validated and affirmed by these principles. We may not say quack men, but we say amen. Amen. I believe in what I'm being told. Spiritual principles that says you were born, not broken. You were not born stained. You were born as a miracle. You were meant to fly. Oh, quack men, quack men. We have been given gifts. We have been given abilities, untapped potential, intelligence, wisdom, energy, passion, dreams, and visions for what can be. And we come on Sunday morning and we get all amped up. We get a spiritual high, and then we leave the church and go back into our existence and we waddle, waddle, waddle. These principles are in place to help us fly, to have a view of life, our earthly existence, that is above and beyond the mire and the muck of just being a human being, walking the earth, just being a duck, waddling the earth, but to be an eagle. Our mission statement here at Unity North speaks to this. You know, and I wasn't quite sure when this mission statement came about, because it came about through the work of our board of directors, and I wasn't sure that the words resonated with me, but as we stand on the precipice of a new year, they absolutely do. This is what the mission and vision of this community is, and it's important that we revisit it and recognize it, not just at the beginning of the year, but all year long. If you can see it on your screen, say it with me. To recognize, to demonstrate, and to share the divinity in each of us. To recognize, demonstrate, and share the divinity in each of us, our eagledom, our ability to fly, our ability to implement what God has placed into our hearts and into our minds and into our hands, to achieve and create a life that is heaven on earth. That's exciting, a momentary excitement. This is the year I don't want us to simply waddle back into our existence. You were not meant to have a mediocre life. You were not meant to have an average existence. You were not designed to be ordinary. You were not designed to be a duck. You were designed to be an eagle. By our divine nature, we claim this truth by our divine principles that you were born in the image and after the likeness of God itself. God as light, God as love, God as creativity, God as power, God as wisdom. All these divine ideas live in you. Quack men, waddle, waddle, waddle. This is the year where challenges are going to be thrown. Gauntlets are going to be thrown for myself. I'm going to lay them down for myself. But I'm going to follow the master teachers, all the master teachers, but in particular, Jesus did not let people define themselves by their brokenness, by their existence, by the conditions of their life, but by something greater. It says in the book of Isaiah, the book that foretold the coming of this new consciousness, this eagle consciousness, this light, love, Christ consciousness. This is what it has to say in the 40th chapter of Isaiah. Please read it with me. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Empowering words. Empowering words. Those that lean into a power greater than the human existence will not ever grow tired, will not grow weary, will not grow faint, but will soar to the heavens. Now in that scripture, the word Lord comes up. And that can be a buzzword here at Unity North. We don't like the word Lord. That's because we have an understanding that it means something different than we've been told for centuries it means. On the surface, Lord looks like, well, it's the powerful Lord of the manor, Lord of the estate, that holds all the power and all the control. In the case of Scripture, it has been interpreted for centuries as the power of God that is lording over us that power, deciding when we get to be blessed and when we are cursed, deciding when we get to have a good life or when life is a struggle. That's the biggest lie ever sold. Lord is not an accurate interpretation of what the Scriptures are saying. It is law. It is the spiritual law that lives within us and not the power outside of us that is lording over us what life can be. Lord is the overarching, animating law or principle behind all creation, and you are a part of creation. So that law, those principles, those repeatable practices live in you. The ability to ascend and to fly and to become an eagle lives within you. But the law demands something. It demands implementation. It demands defining yourself by the potential and not by the waddling. It demands that you define yourself by the wings that you have been given to reach the heaven, to manifest the heaven, and not by whatever happens to be happening on earth at any given moment. That law is designed for your highest and best. For your highest and best good. It only knows that. The infinite creation, as God itself, knows nothing about anything except your highest and best. It does not know of your fears or your doubts. It only knows of your magnificence and your glory and your power. There must be an implementation of that awareness, of that spiritual law, or we're simply waddling back into our existence, getting a mild entertainment in the room, where we can say, quack men, have a few cute stories and a few funny jokes, a couple of spiritual ideas that feel good, like a spiritual junkie. For a minute it felt good, and then we go back to waddling. This community and the individuals in this community will no longer waddle because I see you as an eagle. I know you as an eagle. I know you as the potential of God in form. Not something separate from you, not a Lord separate from you where all the power lies, but a power that lies within you as the law of being. The law of mind action as you think it will be in the world. As you allow into the laboratory of your existence and the laboratory of your heart and your mind, so shall it be. It is the great expression of grace, the power to choose the life that we want to choose. And I'm saying this is the year we're going to implement it, and not just be a year where every Sunday we come back and say, quack man, it feels good. But we implement that law and we fly. Rumi, the beautiful Sufi mystic, absolutely knew this truth when he said this. Please read it with me. Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. You see, there is not the cosmos and the universe in you. There is not God and you. There is not us and them, me and you. No, it's all one. It is the universe in ecstatic motion, forever elevating itself, urging itself into higher expression, and we're either cooperating with that divine movement, the wings that we have been given, or we've tucked those wings in and we're waddling. And nothing gets done. Nothing changes. If you want to change 2021, you better get in touch with your wings and stop complaining about what was in 2020 and start living what is in 2021, the full potential. Jesus, our master teacher, our way shower, our elder brother, not the exception but the example, constantly, like Rumi, absolutely strived to pull out of people the highest and best. He did not allow them to be broken. He said, take up your mat and walk. Every year at Whitestone, we share that story. For 38 years, a man defined himself by his inability to get to the pool so he could be healed. Jesus comes along and the most tough love says, take up your mat and walk. Do you want to be healed? Then stop whining, stop complaining. Stop being a duck. Start being the glory of God made manifest in human form. Take up your mat and move. But it's important. It's really important that we acknowledge the truth that Jesus, every time a healing happened, didn't say he did it when he was thanked. He said, no, it was the presence within me that did the work. In fact, more times than not, he said it was the presence in you that did the work. Your faith made you whole. Your belief made you whole. You already had the wings. You just had to believe that you had those wings. You just had to know that you had those wings so that you would quit waddling around saying quack men and giving lip service to the power that you are, and started being it, started demonstrating it, and started living it. I'm going to ask the band to go ahead and come on up here because I've got a song. And Jennie Bailey is with me again. And I asked her, she usually does the group songs, she signs them, but I thought it might be kind of beautiful to have Jennie sign this particular song, also written by Jerry Florence, just by pure accident today. This song is called Fly. As I get into that song, I want to tell another story for you. There was a naturalist, and my little music underneath would be really nice. There was a naturalist, and he was out for a Sunday drive. And on a Sunday drive, he went by a farm, and he happened to look, and he happened to notice that there was an eagle smack dab in the middle of the chicken yard, in the chicken coop. He didn't quite understand, so he stopped to ask the farmer what was going on. How in the world did this happen? And the farmer said, well, when it was just a little eaglet, it was injured and it was hurt, and we took it onto the farm, and we raised it with the chickens until it got better. And he says, well, yeah, until it got better, but it's still there. It's a full-grown eagle, and it's acting like a chicken. He says, I've tried to release it, but it thinks he's a chicken, an eagle that thinks he's a chicken. And the naturalist said, you give me a few days with this eagle, I'll teach him better. Have at it. So the naturalist took the eagle upon his arm, and he went to the edge of the chicken pen, and he says, you are meant to fly. You are not a chicken, you are an eagle. Ascend the heavens. And he flung the bird outside the pen. And the bird immediately fell to the ground and started pecking for bugs, started pecking for seed, just like he was a chicken. And the naturalist said, well, he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. He needs to feel the wind beneath his wings, and said, I'll take him to the top of the barn. And he grabbed that eagle again, and he went to the top of the barn, and he climbed out on the roof and got to the very top of that roof and said, you are meant to soar. You are meant to achieve. See the heavens, the skies, the clouds, they are your kingdom. You are an eagle, fly. And he threw the eagle out into the air. And the eagle fumbled, clumsily hit the edge of the roof and fell back down to the ground, remembering the injury he had when he was a child, perhaps, and went back to pecking the ground, looking for bugs, looking for seed, acting every bit a chicken. In that moment, the naturalist absolutely knew. He knew what was wrong. As long as the eagle is in the environment of a chicken, he will think he's a chicken. And he asked the farmer to take him far away. And he went to the tallest mountain, the Butte, just down the road a piece. And he took that eagle and he arduously climbed, and he climbed, and he climbed with that eagle, sweating profusely, his muscles tightening, until he got to the very top of the mountain. And the vista was amazing. And he took the eagle and said, look at the vista, look at the possibility, look at the potential. You are an eagle. All the glory of God made manifest in you. Spread your wings and fly. And he went to the edge of a cliff, and he threw that eagle off the cliff. And the eagle began to descend very, very quickly. And the naturalist thought, I've ended his life. He's going to crash. He hit a few rocks on the way down. And just when it looked like all hope was gone, the earth was approaching so quickly, all of a sudden the eagle's wings went out. And he caught the wind. He caught a view of his eagleness. And whoop, no longer a chicken ever again. The master teacher called us to be an eagle. The universe, the cosmos is calling us to be an eagle. And it may look like we are being thrown to and fro. It may look like 2020 was just about throwing us out of the pen, throwing us against the edge of a barn, hitting the rocks and the tumbles on the way down. But could it be that all of 2020 was about finding those wings? And just when we think all hope was gone, the earth was right there. I remember who I am. 2021 is a time of remembering. It is a time of being an eagle. And so I invite you to join me on this song called Fly. I want to fly like the birds in the sky, like the ones who don't know they're not supposed to fly. I want to fly. Do you want to fly? Like the bumblebee whose body is too big for his wings. He looks to the sky and he starts to sing, and then he flies. I want to fly. Do you want to fly? Well, I'm letting go of the things that tie me down. I soar to the sky above the ground. Up here I see why it's taken me so long to let go. And now I'm finally free to fly. I want to fly. Do you want to fly? Now we once believed that the world was flat. One man was brave and he took a chance to fly. I want to fly. Do you want to fly? Will Hodge, fly a little bit. I'm letting go of the things that tie me down. I soar to my future high above the ground. And up here I see why it's taken me so long to let go. And now I'm finally free to fly. I want to fly. Do you want to fly? I want to fly. I want to fly. I want to soar, just like Jennie does when she does the signing. Oh, man, those wings were flapping, and the guitar was flapping as well. So it's important to recognize, I don't know what it means to flap a guitar, but you were doing it well. I'm going to switch mics again. I want to fly. I want to be all that I can be in 2021. And that means claiming my freedom. That means understanding that a white stone ceremony is not contained and never will be contained in a ritual, but only by the consciousness that I bring to the white stone. You know, there's been a lot of opinions about being on quarantine. And we didn't have the burning bowl ceremony with 600-700 people in the room. We found a way to do it that hopefully it didn't matter where you were, that you let go of that which keeps you grounded, which keeps you anchored, which keeps you from becoming the eagle that you are. Today, we can't be in the room having a white stone ceremony, but the white stone is just a symbol. You know, it says in Scripture, and you'll hear this in the video, to the one that overcomes, I will give a white stone, and within that stone a new name is written. Whether you have a stone in your hand or not is less important than you have a new mindset. You have a new thought. You have a new consciousness. You have a new way of being. Yes, come down here at 1 o'clock. And bring your consciousness into the room as you walk around the mandala and find the white stone that is yours. But let it be the consciousness that drives, not a mere rock. Let it be the consciousness that drives, the truth that drives, the wings that drive, and not a ritual done a little bit different this year than other years. So really quickly, as we begin to wind this message up, 5 signs that you're a chicken. 5 signs that you're playing the duck and not being an eagle. They are: you wait to be asked, criticism crushes you, you hide your voice, no devastates you, and life is cluttered with unimportant stuff. Let's just real quickly go through those attributes of a chicken. Number one, you wait to be asked. You never put your hand up. You never step forward. You're never the one that takes the chance and says, I think I'm the one to do this. I think I can do this. You're waiting for the universe to ask you to fly. You're waiting for something to happen to fling you off the roof or off the cliff. And then the invitation never comes. And then you curse and you become a victim because nobody asked you to participate. You know, the reality is the people who achieve things in this world are the ones that don't wait for somebody to ask them. They're the ones that say, I've got something to bring. Here I am, world, and I'm going to shine. Those are the ones that fly. Number two, criticism crushes you. You know, I'll be honest with you today. This is a self-disclosure. Critique has always been really hard for me. And in my chickendom, in my duckdom, somebody would criticize what I was doing or how I did it or how I said it or whatever what the circumstances were around what I was doing. The critique would shut me down. I couldn't handle the critique. I went crawling back into the chicken pen, back into the coop to lick my wounds. That's a sign that I'm being a chicken. Criticism is nothing but direction, information, not attack. But by right of consciousness, you take it one way or the other, to fly or to go back into the chicken coop. Number three, you hide your voice. You know, I look at a lot of great people that I admire. I have a lot of heroes in this world. But as long as I'm trying to duplicate what they are doing, my voice is hidden. As long as I'm trying to do what somebody else is doing, I will be a second place version of them, never achieving what God placed in my heart. Bring forth that which is within you, and it will give you life. Give you life. Don't bring it forth, and it will destroy you. The eagle will never be born. The eagle has died, and you will live the rest of your life as a chicken. A white stone is not about being a chicken, but it's about letting your voice be heard. It may be squeaky. It may be rough. You may be trembling. But tremble. Let your knees knock and step forward. Put your hand up and let your voice be heard. This is who I am. This is the way I think. This is what I believe today. It might be different tomorrow. This is the way I dress. This is my style. Here I am, world. And there will be people that will criticize you? Yep. So what? Don't hide your voice. Number four, no will devastate you. You're going through life, you stepped out, you're living wide open, and somebody says no, and you crawl back into the chicken coop. The word causes you to put up a wall as opposed to use it as direction. That's what chickens do. Just guide me. All the power is outside of me, and the no stops me. The no is a wall as opposed to a redirection to get to my goal. Albert Einstein said it best when he said, I am thankful for all those who said no to me. It's because of them I'm doing it myself. This is the year 2021 where you do it yourself and quit putting the responsibility on a Lord, on a Savior, on a guru, on a teacher, on a minister, on a church, on an environment. Get out of the chicken coop and make your own environment. Climb to the top of a mountain and soar and let no's be you. Hey, they're just direction to get to the better place because I am living a yes to myself, a yes to my magnificence, a yes to the Christ that we celebrated at Christmas, a yes to the Buddha nature, a yes to the Atman of your being, the yes to the divine soul, the divine ego that is you. And then the last sign that you're living life as a duck or a chicken is you clutter your life with unimportant stuff. You know, I am a master. I have a master's degree in being so busy that the most important thing gets forgotten. Thank God I've got people in my life that call me up short and call me out. Life is cluttered. You're so busy doing that you forgot to be being. You forgot to put your laser focus on what is the most important thing, your reason for being born on the planet. This is the year I challenge you to bring forth that reason you were placed on the planet at this time. Let the most important thing be the most important thing. And how do we do that? By having the attributes of an eagle. This is the last piece of information I want to give you today before we get into meditation. These are the attributes of an eagle. Eagles fly with other eagles. Eagles have focused vision. They use what is for their advantage. They honor their commitments and they get rid of comfortable. Breathe. Number one, eagles fly with other eagles. Eagles do not spend time with the sparrows or the doves or the pigeons or the crows at the lower level of vibration. Nothing wrong with that, but they are meant to go to a higher place. Eagles only surround themselves with other eagles that challenge them to go higher, Birds of a feather will flock together. You become like the people you're hanging out with. So in 2021, let's take some good self-inventory and look at who you are hanging around with. Who are you spending time with? Sparrows, chickens, ducks, or other eagles? Get into the energy field of eagles. And then live in that energy field, and then let them teach you and take you to higher places of being. Number 2, focused vision. You know that an eagle can spot its prey 5 kilometers away. Its eyesight is so keen. 5 kilometers away, it can say, this is the goal. That's a long distance, but this is where I'm going. And it will not allow the distractions of life, the distractions of the environment around it, to dissuade it from that which it needs for its highest and best. 5 kilometers away. Many of us feel like we're a million miles away from our dream and our vision, and we give up hope because somebody said no and we shut down. I'm saying have the focused vision of an eagle that says, this is where I'm going, this is how I'm going to get there, this is what is necessary for me to become and to do in order to get there. Have the eyesight of an eagle and don't let go of it. Number 3, use what is. You know, the other birds, when a storm is happening and the winds are blowing, and let me tell you, 2020 has had a lot of winds blowing. But when that storm is blowing, they go hide in the trees. They go hide in the chicken coop. They go back into the safe environment to protect themselves from the storm. But what does an eagle do? Just the opposite. Could this be that we could become an eagle and spread our wings and let those mighty, powerful winds raise us up? You see, it's not about working. They don't flap. They let the wind do the work, and it carries the eagle above the storm. It carries the eagle well above the clouds, where it does not get battered by the winds, but it is lifted by the winds. They use what is as opposed to cursing what is. Could it be that we in our eagledom, meant to fly and to soar, can use whatever is in front of us, and rather than cursing it or saying it's not enough or wishing it was something else, could use those winds to elevate our mind, our heart, our lives, our relationships to a place where we have the view where the sun is shining on the other side of the clouds? Wow, it's beautiful up here. Number 4, commitment. And I learned this about eagles. I didn't know this. But when the mating season comes and a male eagle is pursuing a female eagle, there's a bit of a test that goes on there. It's a test of commitment. She grabs a twig from the ground, and then she begins to fly as high as she thinks it is the right place to go, and she lets go of the twig. The male eagle then has to soar down and catch that twig before it hits the ground. And then he brings it back to her. A sign of commitment. I'm in this. Oh, but the game does not end there. Sometimes it goes on for hours. She gets that twig and she goes a little higher. She goes a little bit higher. And she drops it. And then that game will go on for a couple hours. When she's convinced this male eagle is absolutely committed to me and will be committed to my children, my eaglets, when they fall out of the nest, because that's the job of the male eagle when they fall, is to get them before they hit the ground. Then is when they have a relationship. Could it be that we are called in our eagledom to have the commitment to our dreams and to our visions, to that which we know is possible on earth? It's like dropping a stone. That's what the master teacher did. He dropped a white stone. Here's your freedom. Are you committed to your freedom? He dropped it. We had to go after it. Victims don't ever get the stone. It hits the ground. Victims will never get the twig and bring it back to the female eagle. Oh, but those who are committed, those who are perseverant, those who are absolutely dedicated to the life that they see, that they envision in mind, will ascend the sky, because they'll get that stone as many times as it takes. They'll get that twig and bring it back to the divine feminine that says, yes, okay, you're ready for the life that I have planned for you. You are ready for the life that you have envisioned. Those are the ones that have proven commitment that will flourish. Too many of us give up hope too early. We give up because it's too hard. It's too high. It's too whatever. All these teachers, Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad, Moses, Abraham, Jesus, they challenged us to be committed. Take up your mat and walk. And then 5, get rid of the comfortable. Get rid of the comfortable. You know, an eagle, when its feathers have gotten old and no longer able to carry it to its view, to its highest pulls out the feathers, goes up to a high place on the mountain and pulls out all the old feathers. It gets rid of that which no longer works so that new feathers can grow. And it's important to recognize that when the nest of an eagle is being built, it's many, many layered nest. The first layer, the top layer, is very comfortable, soft, and sweet. But there's layers underneath that are full of thorns. And as an eagle comes to the place in its life when it needs to go to the next level, it needs to leave the comfort of the nest and soar and fly, the mother will push the eaglet out of the nest. And then it jumps back in. But it's not the same nest that you're jumping back into because a layer has been removed. The comfortable layer has been removed. And each time that happens over and over and over and over again, it gets so full of thorns that the eagle cannot help but get out of that nest and ascend to the skies. I was reminded of Anais Nin when I thought about this. Anais Nin, the great author, said this. Please read it with me. Then the time came when the risk it took to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Using our metaphor, and the time came when the comfort of the nest no longer served me. In fact, it was so uncomfortable within the nest that I had no choice but to get out of the nest and to put those wings and to face my fears and to let those wings take me to new places. You are an eagle. You are absolutely an eagle, designed and created in the image and after the likeness of magnificence, of light and perfection. And anybody who's told you anything less is perpetrating a lie. You were not born in original sin. You were born in original perfection. You just forgot, and you're living like a chicken. 2021, we live like an eagle. We're going to go into a time of meditation and stillness right now. You are not a chicken. You are not a duck. You are not anything less than the universe, the cosmos, God in ecstatic motion. And a white stone is being dropped by this minister today, but by whatever prophet you follow, it's being dropped. Do you have the commitment to go get it and to bring it back and to go higher and higher and higher? If you want a minister that lets you be okay with mediocrity, it's time for me to move on. But if you want a minister that will drop that white stone for himself and for you over and over and over again, that you can become the fullness of your life, the freedom, then we have a partnership and a relationship that's going to work really well. I will be a naturalist, and I will toss you off the edge of a cliff, and you be that for me, and toss me off the edge of the cliff, and somehow we will ascend together. We're going to sing this song, I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains to bind you. Nothing of the earth can ground you or keep you from becoming except yourself. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right here, right now, I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right here, right now. Please sing with me, make it personal. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains to bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right here, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains to bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right here, right now. Take a deep breath with me. And let's take those words as more than just words, but as divine ideas that live within us. You are free. You are unlimited. And the only thing that is keeping you from the full realization of this truth are the walls that you've manifested. And so every year at this time, we do a meditation about a prison. Picture yourself with 4 walls around you. Maybe one wall represents the no. Maybe one wall represents the critique. Maybe one wall represents the busyness and the clutter in your life. And the 4th wall represents your fear, waiting for the world to ask, afraid to take the step out yourself. And whatever master teacher you have, whatever epiphany drives you to the higher self, let that image and that vision and that energy come to mind with a white stone in its hand. You are an eagle. You're meant to fly. You see that energy dropping that stone from a high, high altitude. And the first time you go down and you grab that stone and you bring it back to that divine energy, the first wall crumbles. I am not defined by no. I am defined by yes. And that energy goes a little bit higher and it drops the white stone again. And you dive with all that you are to grab that stone before it hits the earth and is lost. And you grab it and you get it. And you bring it back to that energy with the clear understanding that you are not defined by anybody's critique or anybody's opinion. And the wall of your prison, the second wall, begins to crumble. Oh, and the light that streams in is magnificent. The light that's coming in from the outside is full, but the light that is coming from within you is even fuller. But the energy goes higher, almost as if it's touching the sun, and it drops the white stone again. And you feel an inner commitment and dedication to dive even faster and harder than you did before. And you get it before it hits the earth because you know that it is yours. And you ascend to those heights, a view like you have never seen before. Breathe. And you return the stone into the hand of the master with a deeper understanding that you are making the most important thing, the most important thing. And as the clutter is released, the third wall comes down and the light is overwhelming. Light without and light within. And the prison is almost broken down. The chicken coop is almost gone. And one more time, that master energy goes to heights that you've never, ever even imagined possible for you. And lets go of the stone, and it begins to fall hard. Oh, but this time a new strength within you, a new power within you that says, I cannot go back to who I have been because I know who I am. And you grab that with ease and with peace and grace. And for the final time, you grab that stone and you ascend even higher than the master and say, this is mine now. And the fourth wall melts away back to the nothingness from whence it came. No more waiting to be asked. No more waiting for validation from the outside. You are stepping forward. You are putting your hand up. You are volunteering. You are saying, I am here, and I'm here to live completely. I am an eagle. I am the light of the world. I am what God intended me to be. And the time came when the risk to remain tight in the prison was more painful than the risk it took to be free. Sit for a few moments in the silence, in the overwhelming feeling of quack men. Quack men. That does not end here. It goes with me into the city in the silence. "2021, I am free. I am unlimited. Nothing stops me from being what God has intended me to be, what I have intended me to be. I am free. I am unlimited right here, right now." And so it is. And so we let it be. There is a white stone that is waiting for each of you to come down here at 1 o'clock today and to sit in the energy of what we have created in this room, what the music has created, Jennie and the band have created, those that are gathered here. The mandala that was created with the image of your magnificence. It's not just an art piece, it's a prayer. It's a prayer of consciousness that says, I see the highest and best. It's the completion of our great Trinity from Christmas to the burning bowl to the white stone, and the white stones are in that mandala. I invite you to come find the one that's got your name in it, that's got your nature in it, and take it and hold it sacred and put it somewhere as a reminder in your home that you are not a chicken. You are an eagle. I hope you don't mind my bird stories. I'm an avid bird enthusiast, and I love my bird feeder outside my window. So any chance I get to talk about birds, I'm going to take it. The bird feeder outside the window of my dining room, I love to watch it, and I've often seen the analogy of birds that are, the little birds that are afraid, darting to and fro, scared to death of what's going to happen next. Somebody's going to take my food. They end up dropping the food they had. They don't ever get the nourishment. Be an eagle. 5 kilometers away, there's the dream, there's the vision. Be hungry, be thirsty for the dream and the vision that can only manifest through you. Get away from the bird feeder and be who God intended you to be. You know, this community during 2020 allowed itself to be all that it could possibly be. It did not allow itself to be defined by the difficulties or the circumstances that were less than ideal on how to have a community, keep people safe, and still keep the community going. And we had fear at the beginning. We had the fear of a chicken at the beginning of this, but we did end 2020 with the mindset of an eagle, and 2021 is going to benefit from that. And not the least of what that eagle consciousness has come through angel donors. You say angels can fly because they take themselves lightly. Well, they can fly because they are eagles, and they said, this place will flourish in 2020. And so they came up with a match, a challenge and a gauntlet for each of you to match. $51,000 of angel donors that said, let's live in the eagle consciousness. Let's live from the freedom. They dropped a stone. They dropped a stone from a very high perspective, the biggest match we've ever had in the last 13 years. And they dropped that stone. And I'm challenging you to go after it. We are really close. We got $25,000. This is going to continue for the next couple of weeks. We take this Yuletide holiday match through January 15th, so there's still time to go after that stone and to speak of your prosperity, to speak of your abundance, to speak of your magnificence, and says, I will join you in the sky, and to make a contribution. You can do that today on Text to Give. You can do it as an offering for today with a little extra on top to say, I'm in it. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it for the 5 kilometers. But find a way to say, Unity North, I'm with you. I'm part of this. You know, a lot of us have defined ourselves as the eagle did at the beginning of the story by the wounds that happened when we were younger, when we were 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. No, define yourself by what you know to be true. God is with you. And if God is for you, nothing can be against you. The stone has been dropped. Drop a check off here at the church. Come at 1 o'clock. and you're going to write your letter to God if you haven't done it already. You wrote a letter to God on burning bowl. Bring that letter. We have a basket for you to take those divine words, those divine ideas, put it in a basket, and we'll hold it in sacred confidence and sacred prayer and mail it to you next year when we can be back together in the room for Burning Bowl and for Whitestone. But in the meantime, keep flying, keep soaring, and keep contributing to the magic that we are creating here in this community, in this family. Let's affirm together on Old Chestnut, I am so blessed. Let's take into this time of offering, whatever method you have to offer your abundance and prosperity and your gift, we appreciate it. We receive it in gratitude as we sing this song, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. Together let us sing. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. One more time. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. Wherever you are so blessed. So we're going to end. We were going to end with I am so blessed, but it felt really appropriate to end with this song, I believe I can fly. I invite you to stand wherever you may be, to live in the prosperity that you were created in and as, to live in the light that you were created in and as, and to ascend the heights as we end our time together, as we end our moment together. What happened, guys? Did you change the key on me? I'll soar in any key you want to give me. I invite you to, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. See me walking through that open door. If what we've done here stays in this room, it's but a waste of time. But if what we have done goes out those doors and you implement it, it's been the greatest good you could possibly ever create. Let us sing together. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me moving through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Come on, everybody, we get one more shot at it. Together we sing, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. You see me flying through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Thanks for joining us here this morning. Thanks to those of us who were in the room that came. We have a few visitors. Welcome to our heart and our community. Thanks for flying with us today. Welcome to everybody who happens to be tuning in. Come see us and check us out every Sunday, every Wednesday night, and be a part of the great miracle that is Unity North Atlanta Church. Thank you, Jennie. Thank you, Van. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, West. Thank you, God. Go fly. Have a blessed and beautiful week.
out everything we talked about, see us at 2:30 on Zoom.